we show you a North Korea you've never seen. As we head inside the world's most secretive state at a time of unprecedented tension.
Who is the enemy?
American Yankees.
American Yankees.
To visit a place like that, it was almost a bit of we'll just have a go and ask if we can come in one day, assuming that they'd say no. And I literally heard nothing for nearly 2 years and got an email out of the blue from this organisation that claimed to run tours there saying, oh yeah, we've finally found your application to come to North Korea. Yep, you can come in for a week to Pyongyang. And I honestly thought it was a stitch up.
An ever-present team of minders carefully monitors our every move on a highly orchestrated tour led by government official Ju Jong-hyuk.
The problem is that most of the Western people have no idea what is going down here. They don't know the reality of our country.
North Korea wanted us to see only what they wanted us to see. You know, there was no chance for us to walk the streets. If we turn up in most cities in the world, we can go for a walk, and if we want to shoot something down the road, we go and shoot it. If we want to go and talk to someone on a corner, no problem. In North Korea, you basically got put on a bus, they drive you to a location, say, get out, you've got 15 minutes to film here. Get back on the bus, and then you're not allowed to film, drive you to a new location. Okay, you can film this, get back on. We weren't under any illusions that this wasn't some sort of propaganda tour.
We're on our way 200 kilometres east to the city of Wonsan, a bumpy 5-hour journey through dirt-poor farmland and dark tunnels. We stop briefly at a coffee shop where the walls are plastered with pictures of North Korean missile launches.
They were trying to show North Korea as very much a progressive and happy country, and for us it was trying to, where we could, peek through the cracks and actually see behind the facade of what really goes on in North Korea.
No matter how old or young, everyone here marches to the beat of the regime.
To see something is better than seeing nothing, and we can interpret what we see and try and explain to our viewers the different lay of the land over there. North Korea is genuinely still one of those frontier locations that people really have no idea what goes on behind the curtain.
What are you teaching these boys? Do you teach them the technique?
I teach guerrilla warfare, the tactics Kim Il-sung used to vanquish the Japanese army.
What's striking is that the children also see these games as practice for war.
What do you like about this game?
I'm so happy to kill Americans.
So you dream this is an American that you're shooting?
Yankees.
Americans and Japanese and South Koreans, they are the enemy of the Korean people.
When we went in there, it was at the height of the nuclear missile standoff between North Korea and America, and tensions were high before we'd even set foot there. From my perspective, the thing that scares a lot of people is the fact that you are now armed with nuclear weapons.
I think that not at all. No threat at all. But there is one threat. It is one threat in the world. It is from not DPR Korea, but from Donald Trump. So I think that we must get rid of this threat. We must get rid of Donald Trump, I think.
I think there was more tense moments there than I've got fingers on my hands.
Wonsan is one of the regime's key missile test sites. Almost 40 have been fired from this area as North Korea, or the DPRK, develops its capability to strike targets around the world.
They are still at war. No peace treaty has ever been declared between North Korea and the Western powers on the other side. So they basically stand there, and they have done for decades, facing each other off every day. It's tense. You can see them armed on both sides of the border. You can see the rockets piled up. This is effectively where the battle line is drawn, just about the most tense place on Earth right now. At the moment, the mood here, it's deadly serious. In North Korea, you have no mobile phone service. They don't let you bring in, a phone on global roaming or whatever, anything like that. weirdly, once you get to the border with South Korea, you actually get a little bit of bleed over of their mobile phone network. So it was the one time in the week that we're in North Korea that we could actually hold up our phone and just send a message to our loved ones saying, look, we are okay, we're getting back on the bus, love you, bye. And so like amid the tension, there was that one slight moment of relief.
There are some lighter moments on our trip to North Korea. Another side of life here that the regime is keen to promote.
Do you think I can win?
Yeah, of course.
I've been the
you
Pyong
look so
Marathon.
energetic. Yeah.
Today I've been invited to take part in the Pyongyang Marathon.
Yeah, it was kind of about as close as we got to any kind of freedom while we were there. I mean, we had minders on our shoulder 24/7. If you were at a restaurant, if you were in a shop, if you were in your hotel, if you were filming, everywhere you went, you had a minder on your shoulder. Free out here for once. Hello. High five. I got a chance to finally get away from the minders. On our last day there, I asked them if I could actually go for a run myself in Pyongyang. I was 99% certain they'd say no, and they sort of looked at each other, two of the minders, and said, okay. And so I went for a run through the streets of Pyongyang, and think of those clowns that are at carnivals and stuff that go. That was the faces of the locals, that there was just some random white Westerner running the streets with no minder next to him. It was almost like they wanted to call a police hotline and say, there's a Westerner on the loose here and I don't know what he's doing. But it was this bizarre freedom. I could run the streets of Pyongyang without a minder, but clearly that is so unusual because everyone there was just dumbstruck by this lanky white man running through the streets. Kim Jong-un hasn't called me yet with his review of the story, which has been disappointing. We haven't heard at all from the North Korean government, except for one note to say that, let's discuss again if you want to come in future years. I think I've had enough of North Korea for a little while now, but who knows where that might lead in 3 or 4 years' time.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinfort. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au, as well as the 9Now app.